I want to talk about layer masks. Layer masks. And the term mask or masking comes up quite a bit in Photoshop. And so let's talk about the general concept. We have layer masks, which are what we're going to look at and do here. And there are also channel masks and masking in general. First, let me just talk about the general concept of masks. The mask is not a part of your image. The mask is a tool. And the mask itself, like what we see right now, is always black and white. It's black and white. Now, the black area has two different functions depending on the kind of mask it is, and the white area has two functions depending on the kind of mask that it is. And here's the deal. The white area is actually, think of it as a clear area. A clear area, like a piece of glass or even a negative. Because when we have a layer mask over an image, which is really what happens, the white area does one of two things. Either it lets me see that part of the image, sort of like a picture frame showing up, okay? Or if I make it into a selected area, it's the white area that will be selected on the image. And so if I run a filter or I make a change to the color, it will take place in the white area, which defines the part of the image that the change will take place. I'm going to turn on the image behind this layer mask here, and you hopefully can see that what was the black area a minute ago is now kind of a red area over my dune image, and what was the white area you can see as clear in the center here. And that's what I mean when I say the white area either is the selected area if we choose to make some changes to the image, and that part of the image that would be affected, and or the part, like with a layer mask, that you will see. On the other hand, the black area is going to, in a layer mask, hide that part, in this case of the dune image, and you won't see that part of it. Instead of erasing that part of it in case we want to change it, we simply put a layer mask over it, and whichever areas of the layer mask that are black, as you're going to see, will hide the image. And if we convert a mask into a selection, just as the white area is the part that will be selected of the image, the black area will not be selected, and we might want to just say that the black area protects that part of the image, whereas the white area leaves it exposed to change, as well as visible if it's a layer mask. So I hope that makes some sense. Here again, we'll talk about channels later. Here you see the layer mask, or a mask turned on and sitting on top of the dune image. Okay? And there we have it. Okay, so let's talk about going ahead and making a layer mask. You have to pick the image, in this case the dune, that we want to apply the layer mask to. And I make layer masks, or I group them into sort of three different kinds. They all basically do the same thing, but sort of three different ways of making the layer mask. And so the simplest and most straightforward one is to get one of the selection tools, any of the selection tools. I'll just get the oval, and I will make a selection. And there you see it. I make a selection. And then I go down to the bottom of my layers palette right here, and it's the one little tool that we did not talk about. It, in fact, is a little gray area with a white circle in the middle of it. and that's the layer mask icon. And again, I made a selection. I picked the dune layer that I want to apply it to, and then I simply click this little tool, the layer mask tool down here, and watch what's going to happen. There you see. Suddenly, this area outside of the oval selected area has disappeared. And once again, it has not disappeared. It's the layer mask is hiding it. Now let me zoom in on the layer mask. And as I indicated to you just a minute ago, the black area of the layer mask is hiding the dune. The white area of the layer mask is letting us see the dune. And also notice that there's a second little preview or icon here indicating that there's a layer mask in place. Okay? Now, we also have the layer mask and the image, the dune, locked together. So that if I were to, let's say with the move tool, move one or the other, or just come over here and move, what's happening is that the image and the layer mask are moving together because I have this little chain link thing here which indicates that they are locked together. You don't have to be stuck with that, however. All right, we can in fact come and click that little locking device, unlock it, okay, and now we can move, select either the image or the layer mask, and we can move them independently. So in the case of the layer mask, here you see I can move the image around almost like it's a picture frame. I'm moving it around the whole or the white area of the layer mask. And by the same token, I could activate the layer mask and then move the layer mask itself around the canvas. So you can either leave them locked together or you can leave them separately. Okay? So that's a basic layer mask. Let me show you real quickly the second of the three sort of kinds or variations of a layer mask. Notice I'm going to throw the layer mask away. Drag it to the trash. Do I want to apply it or delete it? I'm going to say delete it. And voila, there's our entire image again. It never went anywhere, and there you have it. So now for this different kind of layer mask, notice I do not start out with anything selected. But instead I'm going to go over here to the layer mask. Once again, make sure the dune layer is selected. And I'm just going to click the little icon. And here I have a layer mask, but there's nothing on it. You can see there's no black area, so none of the image is being hidden. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to use the painting tools to create the black and the white areas, and as well use the eraser. I want to show you and point out how you can use the painting and erasing tools to create the areas that you see and the areas that are hidden. So we need to make sure our foreground color has gone or been changed, defaulted to black. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to get one of the brush tools, my paintbrush here, and I'm going to start painting. Now you may look at this and go, well, you're erasing the dune image, but I'm really not. What in fact I'm doing is painting some black area onto the layer mask, and in fact, once again, what does the black area of a layer mask do? It hides the image. and the white area lets me see the image. And so that's what I've done here. And then I can also use the eraser tool to edit the painted area. Okay, here again, I'll just go and I'll get the eraser, and I start what appears to be, again, bringing part of the image back. But what am I really doing? I'm erasing some of the black area that I just painted, and that will, of course, let me see more of the image again. And if I were to look closely, once again, you can see that reflected in the little layer mask icon. Now, we can mix and match these as well. What I mean by that is I can start out with a shape, and again, do the shape, hit the selection, then hit the layer mask icon. It appears that we've erased all that area. I will get the eraser and start bringing back some of that area. And again, by adding black areas, whether you just do it with the layer mask tool or whether you do it by painting and erasing, you can edit the layer mask. And you may think, well, what good is that going to do? Quite often with fashion, they'll copy the image and they'll use the layer mask to hide most of the face, let's say, and just let you see the eyes and the mouth. And on another copy of the image, they might add a soft filter so that the face overall has a very soft look to it, with a bit of feathering and blurring to make it look softer and cleaner. And yet on another copy of the image, on top of it, we use a layer mask to expose the original eyes and mouth that are not edited, so that they have a really good, crisp, clean edge and really pop, and you would never realize that the image has been edited. So those are a couple of ways that we can use layer masks. Also, I'm going to show you in this next video the third kind, which is using the gradient tool, and it's a way that a lot of collages of images are created in Photoshop as well.